Hi everyone, my name is Ananya Rajpoot. Following the launch of the state-of-the-art Women Leadership and Sustainability Education Program, I have been invited by Dior Couture to host one of the interviews featuring inspiring leaders whose wish is to share with young women their professional and personal involvements as well as core beliefs regarding inclusion. On this occasion, I have the pleasure to meet today with, without a doubt, one of the most talented and promising football talents. She's been awarded the 2015 Norwegian Gold Ball, the first time a woman received it in 20 years. She also won the Ballon d'Or in 2018. She is a true fighter for equality and requires no further introduction. Ada Higeberg. Good afternoon, Ada.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me for Women at Dior.
Thank you for joining us today to talk about gender equality, inclusion, and diversity. We're humbled to have you with us.
I'm very humbled to be here myself. I hope everyone's doing good or staying healthy. It's a big honor to be a part of this project, especially thinking about what is such a great big house Dior is, the job it has done for feminism and led the way for women in decades. So that they wanted to have me here and to tell a little bit about my story for Women at Dior is a big honor as well.
Let's start from the beginning, your beginning. When did you first start playing soccer? And when was it that you realized that this was your passion and you wanted to pursue soccer as your profession?
So I started playing football when I was around 6 years old. I come from a home where both my parents played, so I've been very fortunate to have two parents who have been backing me, and I never turned my back since.
You've made the top news in recent times, given your protest for disparity between male and female footballers when it comes to recognition, when it comes to respect and conditions as well. Many may share your opinion, but you went a step further and you stepped down from the national team in 2017. When was it that you realized that you had to do something different, like you had to take this initiative?
I think in life in general, you will always face challenges and your authenticity, your values will be tested. And I felt that I was put in a system or a box where I wasn't allowed to be me. And when someone asked me or told me to change, it was a problem. Then I couldn't give all the qualities I had to give. I couldn't be myself anymore. And I think it's a part of life, taking tough decision that in the long run will do you good. And that's the decision I had to make at that time as well.
Very true. Very well said. Beyond its generic definition, how would you define the concept of feminism?
The concept of feminism is very clear in my head and very simple. I think there's been a negative stigma around it for many years now, when actually it's all about having equality between women and men. And I think it shouldn't be a war between men and women. It should also be men thriving for the women and women thriving for the men. And obviously, if you're someone who's for equal sociality, equality in politics, economics, we're all feminists in my eyes.
Football, as many other industries and sports, is still considered a man's world, or let me put it as a misogynist world. How did you trust yourself to thrive in this industry, in this kind of an environment?
Well, it's true what you says about football being a very dominated man world, and that's why it's very important, I think, to have that self-confidence, to believe in yourself, but also be stubborn, I think, because if you're a woman coming into the world of football with ambitions and dreams, I think you need to have both confidence and also to be stubborn, to believe in yourself, in what you do, and just go for it. I think in life in general, if you really put your heart into things, you will also have that confidence in those bad days as well, because there are tough days, or there are tough days as a women's footballer as well. But at the same time, I'm not losing that confidence to achieve great things. And I think that's very important for every woman out there as well, to value your qualities and gain confidence from it.
I think it's a lesson for all the women out there to be confident and also to believe in ourselves and not just to, a limited sport or an industry. Very well said. Ada, you're only 25 and you've accomplished so much already. Of course, in the past decade, we've had many women voicing their opinions and protesting or, just raising their voice for equality. Do you think our generation is finally ready to tackle this issue of gender equality, feminism, equality, inclusivity and diversity?
I believe yes. I think that we all have a voice in this. We all have a position in terms of feminism and always move the subject into the right direction. It should always be a subject that is up to date. I mean, my grandma has been fighting for this, my mom has been fighting for this, and hopefully one day my daughter will also be fighting for the same thing. So it passes on to generations, and especially in my position as well, I feel like I have a generally position to use my voice for the better, and there's still a lot of things to be done still, but I'm very positive that with women fighting together, pushing on, keeping those voices strong, we will also make a change over time.
Ada, how do you define feminism in your daily life and your work life?
I think that I always try to be myself, first of all. I try to keep my voice heard. I've always been a person that has always been outspoken of my thoughts. And I also have the expectations to be valued for the professional aim and not the woman. I think gender is not relevant in workplaces, but how the professional you are. So that's basically how I try to be myself every day and also be respected for the professional I am.
Is there someone who particularly inspires you or has inspired you to think about women empowerment?
My mom inspires me, and I also must say Serena Williams as an athlete, but first of all as a woman. I think to have women, leading women role models is very important. I didn't have much women models or idols when I was younger in the world of football, and since it was not that much exposed. But that is starting to change today, which is great to see. Young boys, young girls are following women in football more and more, and that's a great step into the right direction.
And I think you're a great example of this same, having women in leadership positions and somebody to look up to. How do you see feminism and gender equality evolving in the near future?
I'm hopeful, but realistic at the same time. I think this won't change overnight. It takes time. But when you have big maisons like Dior making the change, will also make others follow the same path. And looking what Christian Dior has made a change for women since decades, and it's very, very great to see that his legacy is continuing this day as well.
As you know, we launched the Women Leadership and Sustainability Education Program. The crux of the program is how crucial education is in creating a more sustainable and solidary world. What would be your comments, tips, advices for the mentees involved in Women at Dior?
It's funny because I think it's very relatable to the same advice I give to young footballers, you could say. And it's about finding your qualities and gain confidence from them. I think it's very important to maintain that confidence in order to achieve big things, even in bad days, because there will be a lot of bad days. But at the same time, if you manage to keep that self-confidence, you will achieve great things in long term with hard work and when you put your heart into it. And I really think that they will feel empowered by being a part of the Women at Dior. I think it's a great opportunity to develop leadership and that they will find the needed tools they need in order to gain self-esteem, self-belief and confidence.
Very rightly said. There are going to be many bad days, but we just have to be confident in ourselves. So, to conclude the interview, we're going to move a step beyond women empowerment. I would just like to know your thoughts on how do you think we can keep inclusivity and diversity cherished in all environments at all time? What is that we can do?
Well, that's a great question, first of all. I think if you had the answer, you'd be the most wanted woman in the world. But I think small details counts, but I think education has a lot to do with it. When you educate people about equality, it can have a huge impact in the end. And it's all about being on the same page in this, keep those voices heard and believe in ourselves. And we will have many revolutionary women fighting for this case, and we need the men into it as well. So together we will be even stronger.
We're stronger together. Very rightly said, Ada. It was a pleasure having you with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.